Here we go. All right, so this is what I was thinking about on my way to go get this McDonald's. I came up with two of them, 3 points actually. But here's in a world where men and women are equal and even the same, or come and go, where you can be man, you can be woman at the same time, even switch it up day to day. What are some things that you can notice that are the defining social standards for men and women? And I think one of them was either two things: hand gestures and the way you walk are the two things. For me, I can tell, oh, that's a man, that's a woman. If I start going all like this and I start doing hand gestures, what does it say?
It means you're Italian.
Oh.
That doesn't always mean you're a woman. Dude, I talk with my hands sometimes.
Yeah, but you don't talk like a woman. I work with only women. So when I see women talk with their hands, it's a lot of open and close. It's a lot of open and close. It's a lot of this right here.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just creating their own
tighten the elbows.
They're just making their own apostrophes and commas.
Right. 100%. So how are you testing the waters? How do you know if it's a man or woman? Do you say those things as well, or you got any other points?
Oh, that's a good question, dude. In the world we live in today, how do I know if it's a man or woman?
And you can't be rude about it. You don't want to guess someone's sexuality, right? So if you're a betting man, how do you tell the difference? This is good for people who don't know and they're single. They're trying to find their way. And they're just trying to find that person, the right sex. For them, at least.
Oh, God. It's a good question, dude. There's not, I mean.
Wow.
Without being rude, that's where you got me. Because the first thing I was going to say is to just cup check them. Just cup check them.
Oh my God! This was an amazing lead into. Finish what you're saying. Then I got another point for you.
Well, I don't think, but that's extremely rude. You can't do that. So, what is a good way to tell? I mean, I don't know. Probably. Let's see. You could
have to ask.
Huh?
You have to ask. It boils down to you have to ask. And now, how do you even ask someone? Are you a man or are you a woman? How do you identify? How do you even ask that nicely?
Do you wash your hands after you piss? That's what I'd say. That's what I'd ask. And however they answer is how I'm going to know. Let me tell you something about washing your hands after you piss. Now, first off, I'm probably going to get a lot of oohs and a lot of grosses from this, but let me tell you something.
I'm willing to bet I agree.
So here's the first argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
My dick is clean.
It is. Just like your arm.
If I'm out in public, I've showered. All right. My dick is clean.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The inside of my clean underwear is not dirty.
Right.
All right.
Yep. Agreed.
And then the dirtiest thing on a human body is your hands.
Or your tongue. Yeah.
Me working in maintenance, since I've been working with a bunch of chemicals and different fluids and such that are bad for you and can cause cancer and whatnot. Whenever I go to the bathroom during my workday, I wash my hands before I piss. I have been. I've been scrubbing the shit out of my hands before I piss. And then I piss and then I leave. Because I don't want my dirty hands getting on my clean cock.
Right. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. I don't wash my hands after I piss either.
And then people say, well, you piss out of that thing. I'm like, yeah, well, my hands touch everything.
Yeah.
My hands have so much more bacteria on them. They're definitely way dirtier than my dick is. If anything's getting cleaned after I piss, it's my dick. But I'm not going to pull my balls out in a public bathroom and start washing them in the sink.
Mm-hmm. You don't brush your teeth every time you eat, right?
I brush my teeth often. I brush my teeth at the least twice a day. I sometimes brush my teeth 3 times a day.
But every time after you eat, you don't.
If I'm at home and I've just eaten, I brush my teeth after.
You're kind of destroying my point right now, man.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, that's just me though. I'm real particular about my teeth. I like having a
But
clean mouth.
I mean, you clean after you shit though.
And then people,
And
yeah, you do.
if the finger goes to the toilet paper, you for sure.
Now, see, I think that's a little different. I think that's a little different. I clean after I shit. I always wash my hands. I always wash my
Yeah.
hands after I shit because you never know, and it gets real
Yeah.
close. That's dangerous territory. That's
Yeah.
dangerous territory.
And
Okay,
you don't
got to
be
make
eating a
sure you wash your
sandwich
hands
and then
after
get a
that.
little whiff, and
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
screwed for the rest of the day.
Pick
Right.
up a burger, get some poop on the bun.
Oh.
Yeah,
Now,
you don't want
okay,
to mess up.
this is amazing. This is an amazing transition. I don't know if you saw. I feel like I Snapchatted this to you, brother. I don't really remember. The White House held for Pride Month on the White House lawn. It had a bunch of transgender, gay, LGBTQ plus, whatever it is, people on the lawn. Okay. Now it caused a serious uproar when one of these transgender. Okay, hold on. Let me think about the right way to say this.
Who cares? However you want.
It was a man that turned into a woman.
Okay, there we go.
She took her top off and was holding her nipples. It was showing her jugs on the White House lawn. It caused a serious uproar. Okay.
What are fake tits? I'm assuming
fake tits, and then men or women that turned into men that were
wait a minute. Was it a breast implant? Like it was tits that were real that had surgery, or was it like one of them things that they wear that's just like an actual like harness of like plastic tits that go over your real chest?
No. She was standing in between two women that turned into men that have had the surgery where they now just have normal chests. They don't have tits.
Oh, so she was straight up just showing some tits out there.
She was straight up showing tits.
Oh, I think I saw this. I think I saw this. I think I saw that. I think I saw it on Twitter.
Is it wrong to do that?
That was right in front of the White House?
In front of the White House, on the White House lawn.
On the White House lawn?
Mm-hmm. Yep. President Joe Biden was taking selfies with her.
Does anybody not remember the interviews that President Joe Biden used to do before he was? It was right whenever he was barely vice president to Barack Obama, and he was blatantly saying to news reporters and out loud that he is against gay marriage.
Yeah.
And he was blatantly saying that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now listen, that was his opinion. I don't have any serious opinion on the matter, but that's literally what he was saying. And now he's shaking hands and kissing ass with a bunch of trannies on the front lawn showing their tits.
Yeah, bro, it's how you get votes. And when you're
how
old,
the hell is that okay?
He's falling down everywhere, man.
How are you supposed to? What are they going to do? Put that in textbooks in elementary schools to show history of the White House?
Man, I mean, now we're going to go into some dark territory. I saw the other day. If you look up in 1930, the year that was credited as the worst in the economic depression, the depression, one person in that household, their annual income during the Great Depression in the year 1930, the worst year, was $88,000. Today's average income for one person is $32,000.
I was just about to say $88,000 is not bad at all.
No.
I'd give anything to be making that kind of money.
Right. So the argument is being made that we are also living in actually the worst Great Depression, but we're just being blindsided by it, and we don't think about it because of social media, and we're distracted about George Floyd and the police and transgender and the social media.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I definitely think that we're in a depression. I don't think that this depression has the same impact as the depression in the 1930s had. I think that there are more ways to live around it.
Mm-hmm.
But we are definitely, I mean, if you look at the fucking numbers, we are definitely in a depression right now as we speak.
Yeah, I think we're struggling.
Which our economy was doing the best it's ever done. What was it, 10 years ago or 8 years ago or something like that? We were in we were in like a booming economy that's never been, there was less employment then than there had ever been in American history. Whenever Trump was in office, I think it was like his second year. Yeah, it was just like his second year.
Obama was in office. It was Obama then Trump, right?
Oh God, no, yeah, definitely not. No, the economy was not hot whenever Obama was in office. No, dude. What do you mean, fucking Clinton? Clinton? That was before we were born.
Or Bush. I'm sorry, not Clinton. I'm sorry, Bush.
Bush in the 90s.
No. He was
in
there
the early 2000s.
2011, early 2000s. It was Bush,
No.
then Obama,
No.
then Trump.
No.
Yeah.
No. No.
What is it?
The greatest economy that America's ever had, numbers wise, was literally like 8 or 10 years ago.
So Obama.
I think it was 8 years ago.
So Obama.
No,
Bush.
dumbass. 8 years ago was Trump.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Biden was put in office in what, 2020? 2021? So then you take 4 years away from that. That's past Trump. We got a couple more years. That's Obama. I think it was Obama, man. Whenever we,
that's all right. Don't worry. I'm going to prove you wrong right now.
There we go.
Economic comeback under President Trump breaks 70-year record. News broke this morning. This was back then. The real GDP grew at an annualized rate of 33.1% in the third quarter of 2020, the greatest economy that America has ever seen.
Interesting. What news article? What news article? Come on.
New York Post.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So we're saying that would you have Trump back in office though? I mean, he did good with the economy. He did good, but I think
a better question to ask is, out of the choices that we have, who would I choose?
What are our choices? What do we have here?
Biden, DeSantis, and Trump.
Who's DeSantis?
Well, maybe not. I mean, depending on whether or not Trump, Biden, DeSantis, and Trump.
Yeah.
Depending on whether or not Trump's going to go to prison.
That's the whole thing, right? I thought Trump was like going against a jury at some point.
Yeah, he is. He's been going in front of court lately for some indictments.
I don't want that as my president, man.
Oh, you are so misinformed, Jacob Sheehy.
Probably. But it's not a good public image, man.
So
I don't
listen,
want a president having to go to court.
8 years. Shut up. Let me talk for a second.
All right, let me hear it.
8 to 10 years of reported evidence on tax evasion, and within less than a year and a half, we've already got a jury, and we've got him sitting behind the court and indicted on charges that are going to lead him to close to a 50 to 60 year sentence in prison. Now, how many wars happened whenever Obama Biden was in office? 10. What is the economy looking like right now while Biden is in office? Absolutely shit. Is Biden connected to Ukraine allegations under his brother Hunter Biden with having illegal income from different countries? Yes. How many indictments do we have against him? None. Is Biden sniffing children and has reports of pedophilia and also groping and sexually assaulting other women? Yes. Has he been indicted yet? No. What the hell is happening to Clinton? Clinton has 21 friends that have committed suicide. Nobody has that many friends that commit suicide. How many indictments do we have against them? None. Is anybody taking them to court? No. You know why the government's bending their back over backwards to take Trump to court? Because that's the last person that they want in office, because he will not do what they tell him to do, because he will not act as a puppet. Why do you think Biden is not allowed to go to any debates for the next presidential election? Because they don't want him to debate anybody, because he's a fucking idiot and he's going to lose. He's going to sound like a retard. Why do they want to keep him in office? Because he will do whatever they ask him to. He is a puppet. They can literally make him do whatever the fuck they want. He is just a presentation. He is not a president. I highly fucking doubt you that he does any major decisions. He can barely fucking stand. He can barely walk, and he can barely even complete a goddamn sentence.
Okay. All right. I totally agree that he cannot stand, complete a sentence.
And so what? We should burn Trump at the stake for evading taxes?
Let me finish my points. I heard you out completely. Let me get mine. I totally agree that he can't walk, he can't stand, he can't do a sentence. I agree. I think that Clinton also has 21 people that has committed suicide. He was with Epstein on the plane allegedly 26 times. I think he's a terrible person. I agree with on all those points, except I don't want my president to have any of that shit strings attached with him. I know it's pretty much impossible to ask.
Trump is the only politician that doesn't have strings attached to him.
I don't want a politician that's going to court.
Trump is not a politician. He's never been a politician. He's never
president.
The only
president. What do you mean he's not a politician?
Fuck, Jacob. The only reason people elected him as president is because they liked the fact that he wasn't a politician. He has never had a seat at Congress, Senate, representative at state, nothing, not even on the city fucking council. He has never done anything political in his entire fucking
know.
life. He is
I
just a
know.
businessman that has been known throughout the market to be very wealthy and make a lot of successful business decisions. And he decided, hey, I'm going to fucking run for president and see if I can change some things. And he did. The only political position he has ever had is president. Biden has been in a political position for the past 50 years and has done nothing right. And
Yeah,
for
he's
some
dog
reason,
shit.
we elected him
Yeah, he's
president. Let me
dog
tell you
shit.
something. Whenever you don't fire the coach that came in last minute and won you a Super Bowl and then rehire the coach that's been losing games for 50 years.
Hmm.
Who the fuck does that?
Is the coach going to court for some serious charges?
The only reason he is because he is the only one that is not controlled by the courts.
Okay, so I think we
have you seen the pictures have you seen the pictures that were on Hunter Biden's laptop that just came out a few weeks ago?
I have not. Should I look it up real fast?
You definitely should.
Okay, let me look it up real fast. You keep
It's
talking,
just a ton of naked pictures of him. It's pictures of him texting his niece, his young teenage niece, dirty text messages. It's a bunch of pictures and messages of him fucking a bunch of hookers. There's a bunch of pictures of him smoking crack and doing cocaine and doing drugs.
Daily Mail, drugs, naked women, family snapshots. They're all mixed in on Hunter Biden's 9,000 photos from his laptop. Holy shit.
And they all tie back to Joe Biden as well, him being his brother and him covering up a lot of the shit that he's been doing. And has anybody care to fucking press any charges on him? Nope. Because our government is corrupt and Trump is not. That's why they're wanting to send him to prison. He's the one man that they cannot control. They cannot buy out. They have no dirt on him.
Okay. Hold on. Now, time out. Are you talking about Trump right now?
Yes.
Trump definitely has dirt on him. All right, let's just be real. Let's be honest.
No, he doesn't. It would have came out. You don't think it would have came out years ago if they did?
I think it already has. I think it has. I think
you know how much dirt. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Every conviction that
there's dirt that Trump has asked people to build towers for him, like Barbara Walters, where she says she built the tower for him, built buildings for him, and then she goes, "I'm ready to get paid," and he goes, "I'm not paying you, bitch." Then she sues him and wins in federal court. I think that happened. I think he was with Epstein on the plane.
She didn't win
to the island. I think
she didn't win. He never visited the island because he ran against Epstein.
Come on,
he never funded.
Trump went to the island.
He never funded Epstein's campaigns or Clinton's campaigns. He fucking hates the Clintons. Clintons were best friend with Epstein. He never went to his island. He hated the guy. They hated each other.
I don't know.
They were funding opposing politicians.
How about this?
That's why, Jacob, did you know that the Epstein list already came out?
I know.
Have you seen who's on it?
Big names.
More than big names.
Big names.
Oprah Winfrey, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton multiple times, and Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Along with like 50 other people.
Tons.
Not one of those names, is anybody that is conservative or considered a Republican politician.
I got to fact check you on that. I don't know. But anyway,
go ahead.
Right, how about this? Let me say this. Is it wrong to say, let's just broaden the conversation to, okay, we have a good candidate, Trump. We have bad candidates with Biden or whatever, whoever you want to choose, good and bad candidates. Can we not broaden it to just give me some other options? Why does it only have to be these two? Can I not get someone else here?
Oh God!
I mean,
I can't believe you just don't understand. Like, you should definitely have a better grasp on these kind of things. You sound very naive. You sound very, very naive right now.
I just don't think any of them are that good.
Why do you think good, decent people who mean well haven't been an option for a presidential candidate? Why do you think? Just brainstorm. Why would you think?
Okay. I don't think that because the people, the electoral college, the people that get to choose the people that will become president are not also good people who mean well. I don't think those people are. I think those are people who take bribes from big pharma, from other politicians, from other big things. And so they don't mean well. They mean to choose the people who they want or who they have connections with or who they're getting bribed to choose. I don't think that any of those people mean well for the general public. Most of them don't. I don't think they do. So I think
No,
if
none
we're
of them do.
if we're putting our hands into the people who choose the best for us, but then don't give a fuck about us, they're going to choose some other people that they can get paid for or something else.
No, none of them do. That's one of the main reasons why our founding fathers did exactly what they did, is because you cannot trust the fucking government. Never. It doesn't matter how good it may sound or how many nice words they may tell you. You can't fucking trust the government. Their sole purpose is profit and money. It is not for the better of the people. It never has been.
It's terrifying, dude.
Because it's just the world that we live in. Good people don't ever even get that fucking far to even be looked at as presidential candidates. Because if you're a good person, you're a bad politician.
Yeah.
You have to step on some toes. You have to stab some people in the back. You have to bribe some other people. It has to be an equal exchange of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah.
And if it's anything less than that, you will not get the funding from anybody else. You will not get the right votes from anybody else. And you will not make it that far to be a good president. That is why we always have to choose the lesser of the two evils. No presidential candidate has ever actually been a halfway decent person. If we're going back as far as how long we've been alive. It's because good people don't make it that fucking far.
Who's the guy that was in the wheelchair? That's the only one that I know that was pretty good. Him and Lincoln. Those are the only two that I've heard were like, okay.
Or was that FDR, I think?
I think that was FDR. I think you're right. That guy and Lincoln were the only two presidents where people are like, oh, those were good people.
Everyone I don't know a whole lot about JFK, but it did just come. The CIA did just release that JFK was killed by the CIA.
Because it was the Bay of Pigs.
That's common. That's shit? common. That's common knowledge now.
Yeah.
JFK was assassinated by the CIA.
Yeah, he was murdered, bro. Bullet through the head.
Yeah, everybody knows he was murdered.
That, you ever see that movie? The girl that did Annihilate, Natalie Portman. She played JFK's wife. It was a movie like on JFK's wife, her. And it was about raising the kids afterwards and the media that like how the media came after her and what it was her recounting to the situation of holding her dead husband's skull, blood and everything.
No, I don't know.
Bro, Natalie Portman. And honestly, the cinematography in that movie was pretty fucking killer. A way slower movie though.
What was her name? Was it Jackie?
Yeah.
Jackie Kennedy.
Yeah. Really good.
Joe Rogan just had
I saw the cousin of John F. Kennedy
on the podcast, and you should have heard some of the shit that he was saying.
I watched some of the clips, dude. Tell me.
He said that the CIA killed him because he was against Vietnam. And the CIA and the government were making a lot of money off of Vietnam, which we know now that the government has lied about every war that we've ever been in. They lied about Afghanistan. They lied about Vietnam. They lied about the Korean War. And now everybody thinks that just for some odd reason, they're deciding to tell the truth about Ukraine.
Do you think we really made like a lot of money off Ukraine? Or do we think we just
it's all about pipelines. It's all about pipelines, and it's all about money. Yes.
Oil pipelines? What do you mean pipelines?
Yes, not fucking sewage pipelines.
Damn, dude. That's actually terrifying to think about. Where do you move to? Where do you go to? Say you want to escape all this.
There's nowhere to go.
You got to go to Iceland, huh? Iceland's not in any wars.
Yeah, you just got to go to a really small country that pretty much minds their own business, but is also free. Which, I mean, pretty much almost every country on planet Earth is now a free country nowadays.
Where would you go?
God, I hear Switzerland's nice, or Sweden.
Sweden or Switzerland, they're pretty nice. But like, do you go coastal or do you go like out in the mountains somewhere?
Well, those are the only places you can go. If you go anywhere south of the equator, I don't think there's any good country south of the equator.
Australia, that's about it.
No, Australia just had a civil war, fucking 2 years ago.
Really?
Yes, over gun laws.
Damn.
And also, everything in Australia can fucking kill you.
That's true. You pretty much got to go to Iceland, or you go to some random little island that'll just get blown up by a ginormous tsunami or something like that. Those are pretty much your only two options, huh?
There's nothing else that's going to be able to cleanse world government, or even just the government of our country. I mean, like it's just like it's already what is it they say? The pendulum always swings back. It
Yeah.
may take 100 years before it swings back. And
Damn.
before that, and also before that happens, some very dramatic things are probably going to have to happen.
What do you think?
It's not going to get any better anytime soon. I feel like a lot of people think that, oh, things will work out, or it'll get evened out eventually, or we'll get a good president eventually, or something like that. But no, the government's got too much power. It's already gone too fucking far. Social media has too much of a hold on the American citizens. The American citizens are too fucking ignorant. They don't really know the majority of what the hell they're talking about nowadays. They trust the government too much. They believe everything they see on TV.
We're too wackadoodle, man. We're too.
Can you believe that? Look at all the people that have terrible, that are having extreme health issues now because of the vaccine that went out. Do you see any of those doctors that promoted it? Are any of them getting indicted? Are any of them going to court? Are any of them getting charges pressed against them whenever it's been proven? It's literally, it was on, you can look it up. You can look at it. There's videos where they're talking to they're talking to the owners of Twitter, the previous owners of Twitter, for muting and shadow banning doctors that were saying the COVID vaccine is a bad idea. That has not been tested enough. Do not get it. They were shadow banning these guys, muting them. Yes. Yeah. And they admitted on live television that the fucking FBI told them to do it.
Yeah.
Are any of those motherfuckers getting charges? Are any of them getting indicted? Are any of them facing 50 to 60 years in prison? No, because all the government cares about is Trump not paying his fucking taxes.
It's a good way to keep you distracted, bro.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's a really good way to keep you distracted.
There's so much evil and so much corruption and demoralization that's been going on in the government, and the only fucking person they care about is the one person that they can't control.
It's a great scapegoat. It's a really good scapegoat. It really is. It's a great way to keep you distracted. The whistleblowers, the main thing the whistleblowers taught me, the real thing that was like really scary, was one of the congressmen or interviewers, whatever the fuck you want to call it, asked him, what would you tell other people who want to become whistleblowers, who want to expose the truth? What would you tell them? How do you do this? And the guy said, I don't want to misquote him, but he said, I would tell him not to do it. Just keep your mouth shut and just keep following along, because the shit they've done to me and my family and the way they've painted the picture across the media about me, it's not worth it. I'm only doing this because I truly care, but y'all shut the fuck up. That's how bad it must be for people to be like telling other people not to come out with the truth. Stay indoors. Huh?
It's sad. It's so sad.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. And we're living in a tough time right now. It's kind of depressing. Should we kind of bring it upbeat a little bit? We got into politics, got into some dark times.
God, I know, and I hate talking about politics because I really don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, we can keep it dark. Let's talk about that McDonald's food, the quality of food nowadays.
I'm not talking about McDonald's food. What else did you have?
Well, I have what kind of jewelry, or how much jewelry is a man allowed to wear before it goes too far?
It depends on how attractive you are.
Can Chris Hemsworth rock an anklet? Yeah?
He's fucking Australian. I'm sure he has one.
What about me, though?
No. Sorry, man.
Come on, dude. So that's okay. So, but Johnny Depp can wear any kind of bracelet he wants.
Oh, he's got so much jewelry, and he gets away with it because look at how good looking he is. He's also Johnny Depp. Everybody loves Johnny Depp.
But is there not any? So it just depends on your attractiveness.
Yeah, it definitely everything depends on how good you look. How much you can get away with depends on how good you look.
Yeah. Now, let's get into this. I think this is a fun debate for our last 10 minutes here. The word, the women, I work with only women. I've told you this. They hate it. They really, truly hate it. And it does not go well for me when I bring up people's value. What I truly believe, now let me flesh out this idea. Every person has a value.
Everybody's got value. I agree with that. Everybody's got value. But not everybody has the same amount of value.
I agree with that as well. I 100% agree with that. That's why you get fucking job interviewed. That's why I want to see, what do you bring to the table? That's
what's your portfolio? What's your resume look like?
There's talking stages. I want to see what you bring to the table. And before we just jump in a relationship, there's value to every fucking thing. The way you dress, the way you talk, everything.
It is so
And they hate when I
Naive,
say
and
low value or high value.
it is so naive and pathetic whenever people like to preach the fact that everybody is equal.
We're not. We're
Oh
not,
no.
dude. We're
Oh
not.
no. You think everybody's equal? You think everybody's equal? Really? Wow. I'd love to introduce you to any crazy fucking crackhead on the side of the street
Yeah.
and tell me that he can offer the same to the company that you work for that you can.
Right.
Tell me that.
In an instance, you would turn in and go, no, he fucking can't. You would side for yourself, right? You would say, I have more value than him. Oh, see, this is what we're fucking talking about. This is what we're saying. So I think there's definitely value to some things, and I hate it when people try and tell me that there's not, man.
And it's a damn shame. It's a shame that it is the way that it is, but unfortunately, it is the way that it is. Not everybody's the same. Everybody's completely fucking different. Some people are stupid. Some people are smart. Some people are stupid, and they still have more value than smart people because it depends on what they bring to the table.
Mm,
You have to bring something to the table. Some people have nothing to offer. That's just the way that it fucking is. Whether it's genetics or I don't know chemistry. I don't know. I'm not God, but I do know that not everybody is fucking equal.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things
The
that you.
world would be drastically different. It would be unrecognizable if everybody was truly equal. It would be unrecognizable. It'd be a completely different planet than we've ever seen before.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 points to this. First, it doesn't have to be a negative it doesn't have to be negative, and it doesn't have to be competition about your value. If you could just go, hey, I work at this place. This is I know I bring this to the table, and you know what? I'm satisfied with that. I'm confident in who I am and what I bring to the table. I'm not competing against their value. Then we're cool. Then everyone can be cool. But this idea that it's bad because like I'm winning, I got more value than you. No, motherfucker. I just know mine, they know theirs, and everybody's cool. There's first. Second of all, it's something that we have to tackle. If we're going to talk about politics and about how this country's economic depression and all this shit, this is one of the things, man. We got to be able to tackle.
People need to know their
We
place.
didn't know what we bring to the table here. I'm not going to do the same as some fucking engineer. I'm talking into a microphone in my spare bedroom right now. Okay, this ain't the same shit.
Yeah,
this
no,
ain't the same.
I definitely don't have and it's not, and it doesn't make me lose sleep at night, knowing that I do not have as much to offer as a lot of very important people who actually exist in this world and have a lot to offer.
Right.
It is what it fucking is. It was the life that I was born into. It was the person that I was born as and who I am and what's made me. And unfortunately, my value is not completely set from the day that I'm born. You can build your value, of course. That's the thing. There's no limit. If you don't like your value, you can definitely add to it. That's the great thing about being human and about growing and, living for 60 to 70 years. You have plenty of time to grow your value as much as you'd like, but you need to quit fucking thinking that you have just as much value as your neighbor because you don't.
You don't, dude. They fucking worked for that value. You didn't. In some areas, you probably didn't. But you can. But the beautiful part is you can. You can have the same value. You can go out there and do it. It's so annoying, man. It's so annoying. It's this idea that we're just comfortable. Everybody's comfortable and we just need to accept it. And it's the same. It's fucking bullshit. It pisses me off. It really pisses me off. And
I don't like how people think that you should adhere to their uncomfort.
Yeah.
Your psychoanalysis does not determine what kind of person I am.
Yeah.
Just because you think you are something, and I don't agree with what you think you are, that is not a diagnosis for who I am. That is not how you diagnose me. You don't diagnose me based off me agreeing with what you think you are.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
That's a great way to fucking put it, man. That kind of leads me into this. Okay, this girl I work with, she did it in passing. She goes, I just hate it when people like joke around like I have mental health issues,
First off, fuck. If you say I hate it when people joke around and then say something else behind it, then fuck you.
Yeah. I go and she goes, I just hate it when they don't even know like I have serious mental health issues and they just like want to joke around. And I go, okay, if we're gonna play this card, I said, well, I don't think it's right for you to act like you have worse mental health issues than somebody else. And that shut her up. That made me feel really good, you know? But it's at the same time, it's like, I'll tell you what, this girl that I work with, I'm not going to say her name, but she's a great worker. She does fine in every other area. But for some reason, she just feels like she has really bad mental health issues. And at some point, I go, how much is this self-inflicted that you just don't go, I'm cool. I'm fine as I am. This is how it actually is supposed to be. How much of it is self-inflicted that she just goes, I'm just going to trust the doc and just she takes at least, I'm not even playing, man. I've seen it, the pills in her hand. She takes like 20 pills a day, bro. She takes so many. How much is that self-inflicted? Just going.
It's because she's going to. It's because she's going to other like-minded girls' Instagram stories for fucking therapy.
Yeah.
Like if you put a quote with a pretty background on it and post on your fucking Instagram story, some naive girl is going to look at that who actually has issues, and she's going to base her life off of it.
Mm-hmm.
First off, where the fuck did the quote come from? Second off, who's the fucking person that said it? Third off, what the fuck are their credentials to say this quote and then actually have facts behind it? Everybody's going to social media for fucking therapy, and they're self-diagnosing themselves saying, I have a lot of mental issues. You probably do. Okay. But let's look back at why you think you do. Is it because you keep reading things on Twitter and Instagram? Is it because whenever you see a fucking tweet that says this person acts like this because they have issues from their childhood? Okay, what the fuck are their credentials? Where did they get that science? How the fuck do they know? They don't know who you are. They're probably all it is you're just fucking tweeting into a fucking mirror. You're projecting everything that you think about yourself and expecting everybody else to agree with it because people don't like being alone. And that's one of the main reasons why there's so much mental illness going on, is because everybody feels so fucking alone now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And they try getting these pieces out at, late at night. They'll be fucking crying about something they have problems with, and then they'll come up with a phrase in their head and think that it's genius, and then they'll put it on a fucking Instagram story, and then every other girl will be like, yes bitch, same. And it's like,
And
for
if you
fuck's
don't,
sake,
and
read
if
a
you
goddamn
don't,
book or
fuck
something.
you. Fuck
Read a
you
book.
if you don't.
Go talk to a doctor or a therapist, which I don't trust either of those people anyway. Do your best to be able to figure it out for yourself, but first get your physical health under wraps. Let's get that under wraps, and then you can start working on your mental, because mental health is something that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, and it's fucking hard to dive into, and it's hard to figure out who you are and why you are the way you are. And the only way that you're going to be able to successfully even get on that track to start doing that is if you first get your physical health under wraps.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the mental health is a huge thing to tackle. I'm sorry if I made it sound like I'm belittling. There's definitely, everyone's got their shit. Everyone's got the problems they're dealing with, right? We can agree on that.
Everybody's got their shit.
But the idea that you're just going to blindly comply, take a pill, project that this is what I feel, and if you don't believe that this is how I feel, then fuck you. That's not the right way to go about it, man. Work on it. Sit down, write that shit out. Work out physically. Better yourself before you start to do all this shit, because if not, we're having too many people just blindly complying, and this is snowballing into a dark, dark place, man. We got to pull ourselves out of this.
That's not going to happen.
You think
there's only a couple things that are going to be able to happen. One,
finish it off. We got less than 50 seconds. Finish it.
What are those? The only thing that can save us from the endless pit of what America is falling into now, America, I say, the world. One, just a massive revolution.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a lot of blood. Or two, he's going to come back.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything in